Clobbered. Hello, Elihu. What's up, Elihu? What's up, Captain Trek? Hello, everybody who's in here. Welcome, everybody. And welcome to a brief What's News stream. And we're going to be talking a little bit about just a little Mandalorian news that I saw briefly today, and it's new. I haven't heard anybody talking about it. So yeah, let's put up our image for the stream. And I will introduce you guys to my new co-host for Mandalorian Talk. Let's see. All right, here we go. Welcome, everybody, and we're going to talk a little bit about this GQ Germany. It's not even really an interview. It's just a little segment, which might be part of a longer interview. And it definitely seems like GQ Germany, like Pedro Pascal's personal brand management is his representatives or his agents or whatever. It definitely seems like they've gone out of their way to put this out. So whatever version of the truth of Pedro leaving, getting fired, not being involved, maybe they gave him just a timeout, because they've been in disagreement. Whatever it is, Pedro's personal brand control they found it necessary to put this out. So there is a GQ, and I'm gonna put it up. There's a GQ interview. It's on YouTube, and I'm putting up the link here. And it's very short. Again, it's not even really an interview. It's more like it's a 4.5 minute. It was published yesterday, and it has very, very few views, by the way. So a lot of people haven't seen it. I mean, considering that Mandalorian is really in the news, it only has like 260 likes, only 1,800 views. Published yesterday by GQ Germany. So here's the link. Make sure that's the right link. And it's only 4.5 minutes long. Basically, what they do in the I'm going to put up okay, here it goes. That's the link. GQ. And basically what happens is that they kind of just put up like options. Would you choose this or would you choose that to Pedro? And like we see here in the image, like there's an image of him in Game of Thrones and an image of him in The Mandalorian. Supposedly it's for, again, I didn't say it. Supposedly it's for like a GQ cover shoot. So I don't know if he's going to be on the cover of the next GQ or whatever. Maybe they thought it out because Mandalorian is going to be released, and I think it's on Halloween or the day before, and so it all seems planned out. But releasing this little segment today, 2 days after the rumors started to break about him not being involved in Mandalorian, it definitely seems like personal brand management. Damage control. So let me see. Yeah. So like basically that's the it starts out. Let me just like for the cover basically of the magazine. It starts out. Let me show you guys. So it starts out them asking him, "Would you choose this? Would you choose that?" Like they haven't said, "Would you choose? Um, would you choose? One swimsuit over the other? Would you?" And they ask him a lot of stuff. This watch over the other, jacket, whatever for the cover of the magazine, facial hair. Let's see, facial hair, no facial hair, etc. And kind of toward the first half of it, they ask him, "Would you choose Mandalorian or Game of Thrones attire?" And he actually doesn't choose one or the other. He says he wants to be fair to Game of Thrones, and he can't choose Mandalorian over Game of Thrones. So, whatever it is, but this is where he says, "But by the way, in the Mandalorian, I'm still alive because he died in Game of Thrones." So I think this is a very subtle statement, but it's very telling as far as damage control. Hello, Philip Gaming, and hello everybody, Bird of Prey and Captain Trek and Elihu and everybody else who's in here, and everybody else is watching us on the replay, because these are meant to be we catch them live. Great. If not, they're meant to be our short What's News segments are meant to be watched on the replay as well. So yeah, very, very brief statement. In The Mandalorian, I'm still alive, he says. So what can we take from that? I don't know. I think the feeling that I get from watching it, and it's very subtle, but the feeling I get is that something happened. Whatever it is, something happened. And basically, to me, it feels like an acknowledgement that something happened, whether it was this or that, or, whether he walked off, whether he was problematic, whether he was not being treated fairly, whatever it was, just whatever happened. And whatever the circumstances of him not being involved in the second half of the season, or towards the end of the season 2, whatever that might be, it's just an acknowledgement from him saying, "Hey, I'm still alive." And you guys all saw the Bounding into Comics article. Most of you did, I assume. They were one of the first to start to talk about this rumor. Let me just put that Bounding article up, and that they're just great. John and his crew at Bounding into Comics just do amazing work, and you guys are not reading Bounding into Comics and getting your info from Bounding. You should be. So, let me just put this. There we go. So again, this is from Bounding into Comics, and I'm not going to go through the article because a lot of people have already heard about it. Basically, the article says, "Rumor Pedro Pascal quit filming Mandalorian season 2 halfway through production." And there's a few other articles. There's another article actually about some Mandalorian possibly feature film or whatever. That's a different article that John put up, and I will put these links in the chat. I mean, in the description of the video. But actually, I will put this in the chat too right now. Let's see, the link to this. So again, you got most of you in the chat have probably already checked this out, the Bounding article. And again, I do want to share a little tidbit that other channels are not going to share. And that is that some of the, according to our sources at Orville Nation, there's been working for Disney sometimes is not all it's cracked up to be, whether it's crew or actors or other. And I do think that we do feel like Filoni and Favreau are really taking Star Wars down a better path. But their general organization of their projects, they're still part of the Disney infrastructure, and whatever it is, sometimes you do hear actors complaining about, and crew complaining about, just working with Disney is not always what what you might think the great experience it might be. You might think it might be. So I don't know. We don't know what happened here with Pedro, and it is logical for him to want to. It is logical for him. On the one hand, it is logical for him to want to have that exposure. At the same time, he probably kind of knew what he was signing up for. Then again, they may have left some things, in the gray area. To what degree? To what degree will be able to show his face? We do think, I do think though that after season one, after he showed his face, like basically what I want to get to is like Pedro Pascal doesn't have to show his face that often. Like we know it's him. People know it's him. Even if it's not him in the suit at certain moments, it's him in the voice and it's him in the role, and so it doesn't have to. He doesn't have to be shown. His face doesn't have to be shown that often. Not only that, but it can be done. Things can be done in several ways that are suggestive. Even show parts of his face. Even show. Maybe showing him not necessarily wearing his armor at some point. Who knows? And just showing him in full body with part of his face. Who knows? Whatever it is. So there's intelligent ways to do stuff, and if your star is, if it's really important to him, I mean, there's ways to work around stuff with people. Now, we don't know what happened, so maybe. Was Pedro difficult? Who knows? I mean, it doesn't seem like he's the type at all. But if the Kathleen Kennedy thing is true, that he went above their heads to go to Lucasfilm, now this is where this is where most people don't realize, and other channels will not talk about this, is that sometimes among actors there can be a consensus that it may be difficult to work with the studio. And there have been a lot of comments by several actors about it being hard to work with Disney. Now, Favreau and Filoni, I mean, there's both Lucasfilm and Disney there, but now it's kind of all just jumbled into one thing. And Favreau is very used to working with Disney. And, who knows the reality of the situation. But he says a lot of actors quit filming during production. It's called COVID lockdown. Okay. So anyway, yeah. So they're working with Disney is not always what it's cracked up to be. That is the rumor among the acting community, and sometimes everybody's experience is different. Some people have a great experience, some people have a less of a great experience. I think in general it's a very positive. Working with Disney should be a very positive experience in general. Not everything, when you get a job, not everything is always to your liking. That's understandable. Nothing is perfect. So whatever again the situation would be with Pedro specifically, and in these circumstances, it's very clear that their personal branding strategy of his representatives, his agency, whatever it is, and our actor friend Philip Gaming says no comment. That's a comment in itself. Is it a comment in itself, or is it truly a no comment, Philip? Just kidding. So actor Philip Gaming, and giving his 2 cents. Thank you. So Again, whatever the situation is, truly with Pedro, it does seem. Go watch the video yourself, and I'm going to put it again in the description. It's in the chat right now, and anybody who's watching the replay, I'm going to put it in the description. Go watch it yourself. There's not a lot there. It's very subtle. It's very short, but there is obviously a brand management strategy of damage control in some sense, or just to let people know, fans know, my character, and he says, I'm still alive, but he's referring to the character. So he says, yeah, he says he's referring to the character. He says, I'm still alive. So anyway, it's just very clear. And I was going to introduce you guys to our new co-host come for Mandalorian stuff, but you guys can't really see him, can you? Because he's green. Our little baby Yoda here. So we will put him in. We will get him going in a place where we'll get him. We'll get him in a situation where you can actually see him. He's kind of invisible, half invisible right now. So, so we have a little baby Yoda here as a co-host, which would be cool. It's actually kind of cool. It's a little toy I picked up. So I want to thank you. Hey, Cinnabon Bunny. And I want to thank everybody for joining us. Again, this is a What's News news brief on this GQ Germany interview with Pedro. And all the links are going to be in the description. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And we will have a very, very, very brief statement right now about this week. We're going to have big news this week for Orville Nation. We're going to have some surprises. We're going to have, it's going to be it's going to be a fascinating next 10 days. Let me just say that. And we will be putting out some posts this weekend, which are going to be very, very, very interesting to science fiction fans. Let me just say that. So thanks everybody for joining us, and everybody stay safe. Have an awesome day. Have an awesome weekend wherever you are. And many blessings to you, everybody. Thanks, Elihu. Thanks, Phil Gaming, Cinnabon Bunny, Captain Trek, Bird of Prey, everybody who's been in here, everybody who's watching on the replay. Thank you, guys.